Hello and welcome to this week's news for GamingBolt, and today we're going to be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. The latest trailer for Rockstar Games' Red Dead Redemption 2 has dropped, and it's quite the doozy to go through. Along with featuring real-time gameplay from dynamic interactions and fistfights to cinematic sequences, the trailer also goes into more detail about the game's systems. Touted as a large, living world, Red Dead Redemption 2 will offer numerous different areas like the frontier, mountain trails, swamplands, deserts, cities undergoing modernization, and much more. Playing as Arthur Morgan of the Vanderlyn Gang, players will be on the run from authorities. Moreover, the numerous choices provided to players for handling situations are showcased. You can negotiate with sheriffs, commit assault and cause witnesses to stay quiet, intervene or move along from certain confrontations, and much more. Whatever you do, actions have consequences and can result in both friends and enemies being made. Furthermore, it looks like Arthur can get to know each member of the gang personally as time goes on, and spending time with them can lead you to new secrets and opportunities. You can keep the gang's morale high by providing food and supplies when needed. As for combat and action, every weapon type feels unique and has realistic reload and recoil. Additionally, the video also portrays how the bond with your horse is very important, and it will change depending on how you treat the animal. As the bond between rider and horse grows over time, it will become easier to control during fights. Hunting will also play a very important role, as you hunt animals for supplies, and you can trade skins for animals and their carcasses at a variety of shops and vendors throughout the world. The next gameplay video will bring more information about the game, and will deal with missions, enemy gangs, robberies, and much more. So there's quite a lot to look forward to en route to release. Also, soon after the gameplay video was released, the PlayStation blog clarified that the footage was captured on the PS4 Pro. The game was displayed in 4K resolution on the console, but we don't yet know how exactly it was made to run at that resolution. Our guess is that some method such as checkerboard rendering was employed. As for the Microsoft side of things, if you own an Xbox One X, you will be able to run the game at 4K resolution, along with HDR support as well, but we don't know if there will be any major differences in visual quality between the two consoles just yet. We know this, of course, because Microsoft has mentioned this information on their own page that lists all games that feature or will feature Xbox One X enhancements. Red Dead Redemption 2 is set to release for the PS4 and Xbox One on October 26th. We recently reported on how Guerrilla Games is undergoing massive expansions and is hiring a lot more people so as to release games more quickly. It seems like the next game the company is working on may be an online game, or will come with an online component at the very least. This is as per a job listing by the company, which is for a UI programmer. In the job listing, it's mentioned that the UI programmer will be working on an epic open-world game, but the requirements also ask for experience in shipping network-enabled code and working with online games. The epic open-world game part seems to suggest a Horizon sequel. So, could it be a Horizon game with online elements? Perhaps the job listing is possibly to work on a game directed by game director Simon LaRoche, since he's currently working on an unannounced title. As pointed out by a user on Reset Era, LaRoche has previously worked on multiplayer experiences before, so it's certainly possible that Guerrilla Games is moving in that direction. As of now, we'll just have to wait and see what the developer has planned for the future. We've already been able to learn quite a bit about what to expect from Bethesda's upcoming multiplayer game, Fallout 76. The developer had also recently revealed some of their plans for the beta testing phase for the game. Now, the developer has stated that both the game and its beta will be available exclusively on the publisher's website, Bethesda.net. According to the FAQ section on the official website, the game will indeed be available for PC only through Bethesda.net. Later on, a Bethesda representative wrote to PC Gamer and confirmed that the game and its beta will not be available on Steam. It looks like the publisher is confident of the game's success and popularity, which is why they've chosen not to release it through Steam. The beta test will be held at some point in October, while the full game will be released on November 14th for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Star Citizen has been a very long time coming. The game was announced as a modern revival of the classic PC space sims that used to be fairly common back in the day, with a crowdfunding campaign to help bring it to life. Thanks to incredible feature bloat and a scope for the project that keeps growing without any checks or balances, today the game is still not out, and there is no concrete release date for it announced either. And now there's yet another controversy brewing. You see, early players are now able to buy in-game currency and stockpile it in huge amounts, which basically gives them a great advantage over other players and risks sabotaging the in-game economy. Earlier, there was a cap on the amount of UEC, which is the in-game currency, that players could have in the game, but after a change that was brought about, that cap was shifted to allowing players to purchase 25k of the in-game currency every 24 hours. What this means is that players could potentially bring in ridiculously large amounts of money when it launches in full, which, let's be honest, could be years from now, making those potential sums of in-game currency even more ridiculously vast when you take the new caps on purchasing UEC into consideration, to say nothing of having microtransactions for a game that isn't complete and doesn't even have a completion date planned yet, though Star Citizen, which sells spaceships to players for exorbitant amounts of real-world money, definitely is no stranger to that. It's definitely a bad look for the game, and for Cloud Imperium Games, and Chris Roberts, the head of the project, has made a tone-deaf response that definitely doesn't inspire confidence either. Some people are worried that they will be disadvantaged when the game starts for real compared to players that have stockpiled ships or UEC, Roberts said in an update post. This has been a debate on the forums since the project started, but this is not a concern for me as I know what the game will be and I know how we're designing it. There will always be some players that have more than others, regardless of whether they've spent more or played more, because people start at different times and play at different paces, he continued. This is the nature of persistent MMOs. Star Citizen isn't some race to the top. It's not like Highlander where there can only be one. It is an open-ended, persistent universe sandbox that doesn't have an endgame or a specific win state. We are building it to cater to players of all skill levels that prefer PvE or PvP, that like to play solo or in a group or a large organization, that want to pursue various professions, some peaceful and some combat-oriented. This is the core philosophy of Star Citizen. There isn't one path, nor is there one way to have fun. This may be a foreign concept to gamers as the majority of games are about winning and losing, he said. But Star Citizen isn't a normal game. It's a first-person universe that allows you to live a virtual life in a compelling, futuristic setting. You win by having fun, and fun is different things to different people. So essentially, Roberts talks about how the game has no victory state and completely sidesteps the issue of early players being able to buy their way to an advantage. Star Citizen, the game that continues to set crowdfunding records, is due to launch, eventually, exclusively for PC. That'll be it for this video. If you like what we're doing, please go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.